A chronic victim doesn't just drain the energy, they rewrite the rules of accountability. And if you don't catch it, their story becomes the team culture. So, welcome to Solving People Problems, the show where leaders come when the people part of leadership is the hardest part. I'm Brenda Neckvaddle, and I spent 30 years in HR crisis management, handling the kind of workplace chaos no one ever warns you about. So, every episode, we get straight to the point, real problems, real people, real solutions that you can use today. No theory, no sugarcoating, just the tools that you need to lead with authority, to protect your sanity, and to keep your team performing at its best. Now, you've seen this play out. The employee who always has a reason, the one who never owns the mistake, but always has a story about why it wasn't their fault. Their project failed because no one helped them. Their deadline slipped because they didn't get the right instructions. Or their conflict with a coworker, of course, it's always the other person's fault. And if you don't intervene, the team starts to notice. They see accountability shifting. They watch you spend more energy manning excuses than results. And before long, the whole group lowers the bar because victimhood became an acceptable escape route. But here's the truth, victims just don't hijack productivity, they hijack culture. Now, here's what works. I want you to say this when you're running into this situation. I want you to say, here's what I hear you saying. Now, tell me what part of this do you own and what will you do differently the next time? Oh, that one question flips the script. It interrupts the blame spiral. It forces responsibility without you carrying it for them, and it reframes leadership as coaching, not coddling, because leadership isn't absorbing excuses, it's redirecting them back into accountability. Now, can we agree that every time you let victim language go unchecked, you're not being compassionate, you're training your team that excuses equal immunity? How many of you sat through the same story 3 times, realizing you were solving feelings instead of solving problems? How many of you caught yourself softening the standard because one person's drama consumed all the oxygen? And how many of you carried their excuses on your shoulders only to watch them hand you another one the very next week? Now realize this, right? Accountability isn't harsh, it's healing. Because you don't build strength by absorbing weakness, you build it by reflecting responsibility back to where it belongs. You don't create trust by lowering the bar, you create it by holding the line, even when it's uncomfortable. And you don't lead by managing stories. You lead by insisting on solutions. So, where in your leadership are you letting the victim mindset set the tone? Where are you protecting their comfort instead of protecting your culture? And what would change if the next time they played the victim, you calmly handed the responsibility right back? The victim mindset only wins if you let it, and authority wins when you stop carrying excuses and start building resistance. Now, all of that ends for you now. And on October 22nd, that's right, in Virginia Beach, my Leadership Unleashed live event will show you what to say, when to say it, and why it works. So tense rooms settle and your teams move. It's not just another leadership event. No, it is not. It is that one room you want to be in where you finally get the tools to deal with the chaos no one ever warned you about, and employees who push back, the performance that you see constantly slipping, and the team dynamics that drain the ever living life out of your leadership. So join me and 2 Navy SEALs for a full day of high intensity reset that will shift how you lead under pressure. Seats are selling because trust, clarity, and control, they don't happen by accident. You build them. Seats are limited and we have a few VIP spots left, so go to leadershipunleashedlive.com and book your spot today.